Murray County are fortunate to have so many of us working together for their success. We are the envy of many communities when they see that so many stakeholders from public school districts, government and elected officials, institutions of higher education, non-profits, faith community, and so many others are working together, aligning action for student success. It is rare to have this level of commitment for this long and for all the many 7:30 a.m. meetings that Tom invites us to. We are continuing on this journey because we all believe that our future depends not on just some, but all of our children succeeding. We believe that if we want to invite more employers to the Dayton region, invest in our community, all our children need to be college and career ready. And we don't just believe that, we have been working together for a few years now to achieve that. Unfortunately, the trends are stubborn. We are not seeing the gains that we need. That's what led to the report in your hands today, disaggregation of data. But before I get to statistics, I want to share a personal encounter I had with a kindergartner. I'm going to call him Trevor. A couple of years back, I was volunteering to read in Trevor's kindergarten classroom, and every week I brought a picture book to read with a small group of children. One Monday morning, I showed up in his class, and 4 of the children huddled with me to the hallway. I had a picture book with maps in it. We sat down on the floor and we started looking at the book, reading together, talking about the book, just like you're supposed to do in dialogic reading, and practicing our vocabulary words. And then, one little girl in the group, being the straight talker kindergartner she was, leaned in, frowned at me and said, "You talk funny." I took the opportunity with the book in my hand and I showed her how different people in different parts of the world had accents. And I showed her India on the world map and showed her how I lived and grew up there and then got on a plane and came all the way to the United States to go to college. Feeling so good about myself that I was connecting all these things for them, I said, "When are you going to go to college?" And a couple of them had answers. The little girl's mom had been to Sinclair, so she was going to go to Sinclair. Another little boy was a Flyers fan and he was going to go to UD. One didn't know what college was, and that was okay, it was kindergarten. But Trevor looked at me and said, "I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to go to jail." I had no words. I could not figure out how at age 5 he had made that determination for his future. But looking at this report, I'm starting to wrap my head around what that meant and why at such a young age he had given up on his future. Like Robin said, that the data in this report is deeply disturbing and sobering. You will need time to look at all the trend lines and take it all in. But I want to take a few minutes to highlight 3 important things. Number 1, the academic success trend lines for African American children in general and boys in particular are beyond tragic. African American boys start kindergarten behind African American girls, white boys, white girls, and they stay there. Actually, the gap widens as they go through the school. You'll notice that about 11,000 of African American boys that we have in our community, their success is heartbreakingly low. Only about 3 out of every 10 African American boys reach proficiency at any point across the continuum. Of course, we all know that this is not the children's fault in any way. But if the boys are behind every step of the way, It gives them reason to fall behind, drop out, check out, and they will not succeed as citizens, employees, husbands, and fathers. The second data point I would like to bring attention to is suspension rates for African American children across the county, just like nationally, are disproportionately high. If children are not in the classroom, it gives them more reason to check out, drop out, and dislike school. And finally, and this is critically important, poverty is a key factor in a child's success. But the data will tell you it's not the only reason why children are falling behind. Yes, growing up in violent neighborhoods, in a family where putting food on the table is a daily struggle, is going to impact the opportunities children have. But you don't have to look at the data long or hard to see that poverty is not the only explanation. If you turn to page 25 of the report, you'll see that the solid blue line that represents African American boys who are not poor, they have stayed below low-income white boys and girls in third grade reading proficiency for most years. Something systemic is going horribly wrong for these children, and of course it's no one institution or person's fault. But this phenomena is not just true for third grade. It is evident that just like nationally, in Montgomery County, race plays a defining role in the success for our children in school and in life. In the last few months, I've had the opportunity to share this data with over 20 different groups, including families. The conversations are always difficult, challenging, and often heartbreaking. No one believes that the solutions are simple, but as we grapple with this data, as a community, we should absolutely not blame or shame others or ourselves. Blaming families, teachers, neighborhoods, or even ourselves is not going to get us anywhere. And it's terribly destructive. Actually, if we really want to make a change, blaming is just taking a pass. Our community has a lot of educating to do of each other, but education cannot be end of the work. Looking at this county level data is just start of this journey. But because of people like you, I'm hopeful and confident that we are poised to find the solutions that we seek. Because Trevor and many others like him are depending on us. Thank you.
All right.